When a man spotted something moving through the remote Utah desert in January, he wasn't even sure what he was looking at. What he found would shock rescuers so deeply that they questioned whether this creature was even a dog at all. This is the story of Kelly, a mystery that began in the unforgiving wilderness and ended with a DNA revelation that no one saw coming. But what happened to Kelly in those desert months remains a haunting question that still keeps her rescuers awake at night. The Utah desert in January is a merciless place. Temperatures plummet below freezing at night, then soar during the day, creating a brutal cycle that can break even the hardiest creatures. It's a landscape of red rock and endless sagebrush, where water is scarce and shelter is almost impossible to find. In this harsh wilderness, something had been surviving against all odds, something that would soon change the lives of everyone who encountered it. The man driving through that remote stretch of desert that cold January morning had made this journey countless times before. He knew these roads, knew the wildlife that called this place home. But what he saw moving slowly across the barren landscape made him pull over immediately. At first glance, it looked like a creature from another world, completely bald, its skin burnt and swollen from months of desert sun, covered in painful scabs that told the story of unimaginable suffering. When the man called out, this mysterious creature, despite its obvious pain, came running toward his car without hesitation. It jumped in immediately, as if it knew this was its one chance at salvation. The man couldn't believe what he was seeing. This wasn't the behavior of a wild animal. This was something else entirely. But what? And how long it had been out there, fighting for survival in one of America's most unforgiving landscapes. The call came into the Utah Animal Adoption Center like so many others, another animal in need of help. But when Lila Olson, the shelter manager, first laid eyes on Kelly, she was stunned into silence. In 20 years of animal rescue, she had never seen anything like this. The creature before her was so transformed by suffering that its very species was in question. I was shocked, Olson would later recall. I'd never seen anything like her before. Kelly's paw pads were so raw and inflamed that every step brought visible agony. The poor animal would sit and cry from the intense itching and pain that consumed her entire body. But here's what made Kelly's story even more mysterious. Despite everything she had endured, despite the obvious torture of her condition, she showed no fear toward humans, none whatsoever. Instead, she seemed desperate for their touch, their presence, their care. This wasn't the behavior of an animal that had been abandoned or abused by people. This was an animal that remembered love, that craved human connection even in her darkest hour. The question that haunted everyone at the shelter was simple yet profound. Where had Kelly come from, and how had she ended up in such a desperate state? The treatment began immediately. A careful regimen of intense antibiotics and medicated baths designed to heal skin so damaged it barely resembled fur-bearing flesh anymore. Each bath revealed more of Kelly's mysterious past. Beneath the mange and scabs, glimpses of white and brown fur began to emerge, offering the first clues to her true identity. But Kelly remained an enigma, a puzzle wrapped in pain and survival instinct. As days turned into weeks, something miraculous began to happen. The creature that had stumbled out of the desert, barely recognizable as a dog, started to transform. Hair follicles that had been dormant for months began producing fur again. The angry red inflammation started to subside. The painful scabs fell away, revealing healthy pink skin underneath. But with each passing day of Kelly's recovery came new questions about her breed, her background, and the circumstances that had led to her desperate desert ordeal. After just over a month in the shelter's care, Kelly had become a completely different animal. Her white and brown coat was growing thick and lustrous. The pain that at once made every step agony was gone, replaced by an eager enthusiasm for walks and human companionship. But perhaps most remarkably, Kelly had developed an almost maternal instinct toward other animals. When puppies were brought into the shelter, she would immediately approach them, gently licking and caring for them as if they were their own. It was behavior that suggested a depth of character and breeding that went way beyond the typical stray. Kelly's incredible transformation captured national attention, and with that attention came a flood of speculation about her true identity. The shelter's social media posts were flooded with guesses: German Shepherd, Golden Retriever, mixed breed, purebred hunting dog. The theories were endless, but no one could say for certain. Even the experienced staff at the shelter found themselves stumped. Kelly's behavior provided tantalizing clues. She had an unusual interest in birds, often freezing and pointing when she spotted them outside. But what breed displayed this distinctive hunting behavior?
Determined to solve the mystery once and for all, the shelter ordered a comprehensive DNA test and turned Kelly's breed identification into a community-wide guessing game, complete with prizes for the winner. The anticipation built for weeks as the entire town waited for results that would finally reveal Kelly's true identity. But when those results came back, they delivered a shock that no one had anticipated. 100% Brittany Spaniel, not mixed breed, not a combination of hunting dogs, but a purebred Brittany Spaniel, one of America's premier bird hunting breeds. Suddenly, Kelly's pointing behavior made perfect sense. Her gentle nature with other animals, her desperate need for human companionship, her survival instincts, it all aligned with a breed specifically developed for partnership with humans in the field. But this revelation only deepened the mystery. How does a purebred Brittany Spaniel, a dog worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, end up alone and dying in the Utah desert? The DNA results transformed Kelly from a rescue story into something far more complex and haunting. Brittany Spaniels don't just wander off and survive alone in the wilderness for months. They're bred to work closely with human hunters, to never stray far from their handlers. They're valuable dogs, beloved pets, championship bloodlines. Kelly's presence in that desert suggested a story that may never be fully told, a story of loss, tragedy, or circumstances so extraordinary that they defy explanation. As Kelly approaches full health and prepares for adoption, her mysterious past continues to cast a shadow over her remarkable present. The shelter has been flooded with adoption applications from families across the country who have followed her journey. But Kelly's future, bright as it appears, cannot erase the haunting questions of her past. Somewhere out there, someone may still be wondering what happened to their Brittany Spaniel. Somewhere, there may be a family who never stopped searching, never stopped hoping. Or perhaps Kelly's story is darker still, a tale of abandonment or tragedy that will forever remain locked in the silence of the Utah desert. What we do know is this: Kelly survived something that should have killed her. She endured months of suffering that would have broken most creatures, yet emerged with her capacity for love and trust intact. She faced the vast emptiness of one of America's most unforgiving landscapes and somehow found the strength to keep going until help arrived. In a world where stories often lack clear endings, Kelly's rescue stands as a testament to the power of survival, the kindness of strangers, and the unbreakable bond between humans and the animals we've chosen to share our lives with. Those who know her best can't help but wonder about those lost months in the desert. What did she see? What kept her going? And most haunting of all, what secrets does the desert still hold about the mystery dog who emerged from its depths, transformed by suffering but unbroken in spirit? Kelly may be safe now, ready for a new beginning with a loving family, but the questions surrounding her ordeal will linger long after she's settled into her forever home. A reminder that even the most heartwarming rescue stories often carry shadows we may never fully understand.